guys, it's Erin, and for today's video, I'm going to be talking about my top 4 anime from spring 2015 season. I wanted to make a video talking about this because I didn't do a spring preview video, nor did I do any first impressions of any spring series. So I wanted to make a video in some way, shape, or form to talk to you guys about my feelings and my thoughts on the series that I did end up watching this season. So I was like, yo, let's just make a top 4-ish list, even though there's no ish, because there's really only 4 series that I watched season 5 technically, so I guess it is an ish. I don't know. Yep, there it is. Also, you may notice that we are in a slightly different backgroundy area, and that is because about a week ago I sprained my ankle like a klutz, like a pregnant dummy, and can't stand for long periods of time, so instead I am sitting and you guys get to see a little bit closer perspective of the wall that's always behind me. I did it for you guys. This was all for you. Alright, let's get started. Coming in at number 4 is KEKKAI SENSEN, aka Blood Blockade Battlefront. Now before I go any further with this one, I have to add a disclaimer that I've only watched the first 4 episodes of this series before I put it on hold so that I could wait until Funimation finished simulcasting all of their dubs of it. And before you jump at me and scold me for including a series I haven't seen the majority of the episodes on a top list, what I saw in those first 4 episodes still made KEKKAI SENSEN one of my favorites of the season, because it had so much going for it in terms of creativity, and I absolutely loved it and really wanted to talk about it and touch on it and let people know about it in case you guys haven't even heard about it yet. So there, that is why I included it, and it's my list, so I'll do what I want. Boop, boop, boop. When it comes to the most creative and unique series this season, KEKKAI SENSEN took the cake by far, refusing to be limited by current trends in anime or that its erratic storytelling might be too hard to follow for some. It's daring in its direction, with director Rie Matsumoto picking creative angles and perspectives over the standard views we commonly see in series nowadays. Her choppy pacing may feel too whiplashy to some, but I personally loved the snappiness of it. The way it was like, yo, hold on to your butts because we are jumping in, we got no time to explain, so watch and infer with those intelligent little brains you've got there. Even as a lover of this narrative style though, there were definitely moments where I had difficulty keeping up, solely because I don't read or speak Japanese. Trying to read a screen full of text while at the same time trying to read the subtitles for what characters are saying was incredibly hard, especially when they shared equal importance to the context of the episode. But this is easily forgivable, as it's such a fun and exhilarating series with tons of hints at future tear-jerking moments that balance perfectly with its action, witty characters, and dope animation from Bones. Also, best opening and ending songs of the season, 10 out of 10, all they're both just so jazzy and feel goody and quirky, and I love them. And Zap is latest addition to Husbando Harem. I adore his little white-headed face. Coming in at number 3 is Fate/stay night Unlimited Blade Works. Fate/stay night Unlimited Blade Works is the final half of the sequel to Fate Zero / adaptation of the light novels of the same name that began airing last fall. It kind of sucked to have to wait 3 months for the second half of the series, but once you get to watch all of it, it was so worth it. Ufotable's animation, particularly during battle sequences, is god tier and drool worthy. It's so smooth and detailed that it's obvious that they took time to add as many frames as necessary to each scene to get it that way. In terms of writing, some episodes have a little too much exposition. I'm looking at you, Mr. Archer. But the pacing was solid, and the build-up to the major reveals was wonderful, making it so twists never felt forced or like they came out of nowhere, instead giving them enough groundwork to blow the viewer's mind easily. Aside from Archer, I didn't particularly feel connected to or invested in any of the characters, not because they're bad characters by any means, but simply because I was that much more engaged by the story and the world the story was happening in and the animation than I was any of the characters' personalities. So That final fight between Blink and Blink, though, was just goosebumps everywhere and so overwhelmingly awesome that I was overwhelmed. I couldn't handle it. It was just so good. Coming in at number 2 is Food Wars. Definitely the most zany and over-the-top and mindless series that I watched this season. Food Wars is awesome. Is it the best written? No. Does it have an incredibly generic shonen protagonist? Yes, it does. Is it a crap ton of fun? Oh, yes. Food Wars is definitely a battle shonen, but its battles are all about food and leveling up your cooking skills. The show is formulaic through and through, but it's incredibly self-aware of that fact and refuses to apologize for it, going as over the top and balls deep as possible. We see it in the dramatic gasp from the crowd whenever Soma reveals his winning concoction. We hear it in the intense music as characters chop veggies as though their lives depended on it. And nowhere is it more obvious than in the fan service. The moaning and absurd amounts of nudity, including in the ending theme song, is so ridiculous and over the top that it's hilarious. And it doesn't discriminate against anyone. Men, women, teenagers, geriatrics, everyone seems to get an opportunity to moan, have their clothes explode off, and have a literal foodgasm when they taste Soma's cooking. I love it. So I just love it so much. While it could do without scenes of high school girls literally being violated by a tentacle, the fan service here is great because it's been built into the atmosphere of this show and is used as a storytelling mechanism, so it doesn't feel out of place at all. And if the fan service is not to your taste at all, then you should know that it significantly decreases around episode 5 or so, when the humor takes more of a backseat to the show, focusing on defining its cast. In terms of animation, there are definitely some other series that have a higher budget this season, but Food Wars is still nicely animated and clean enough that you can't really dog on it, and there's a heavy focus on making the food portions of the show look so mouth-watering that you can practically taste that pork roast like it was right in front of you. It is literal, mindless, campy food porn fun, and that is why it's one of my favorites of the season. I have no shame in saying that. And coming in at number 1 on my top 4 series of spring 2015 anime season is Ore Monogatari, aka My Love Story, aka just the sweetest thing you will ever watch in your life. Ore Monogatari is so far the best shoujo comedy this year, and honestly probably one of the most refreshing series of recent seasons. It takes the character we usually see as the comedic relief sidekick and brings him to the front of the narrative, and does a fantastic job of it. All 3 of the main characters represent roles we're used to seeing in shoujo, but they're so vibrant and quirky that to even think of them as generic would be doing the writing a disservice. These are characters with actual personality that shines through their chemistry with one another. Ore Monogatari isn't just about a single romantic relationship, it's also just as much about Takeo and Suna's friendship, and you'll find yourself giddy squealing at their bromantic talks just as much as you will at Takeo and Yamato taking selfies together. I am impressed week after week by their ability to keep up the romance and the comedy in this show without it getting dull or one note. And Ore Monogatari is also brilliant at tackling heavier yet completely realistic situations as well, like balancing friendships with love lives. Plus, it doesn't shy away from bringing up the fact that, hey, teenage girls have sexual thoughts too, and that is totally normal and okay that they have them. It's incredibly tasteful about it and not super overt, but it's just really nice to see any sort of media touching on this topic without the angle of shaming the girls for having those thoughts and feelings. But seriously guys, if there is one series that you check out this season, it has to be Ore Monogatari. Do not dismiss it simply because it's a shoujo or it's a rom-com. It is so fun and heartfelt and mature for being about high school romance. And Madhouse's animation of it is also just awesome, and so you just need to check it out. I just have a lot of feelings about this show, and it's amazing, and Suna is so precious, and I love him. Also, of course, honorable mention to Kuroko no Basuke Season 3. I didn't include it officially in my top list because it started in winter, but holy crap, you guys. did Production IG save all of their money for this last match and making it look as freaking amazing as they possibly could. And also the character development and the voice acting and the Takeo arc and everything, it's just been so good. As a lover of the manga, having the manga be my favorite manga of all time, and also somebody who did not like this final match in the manga, I love it in the anime. I'm loving it, which means if you haven't even started Kuroko no Basket, you need to start Kuroko no Basket just so you can watch season 3. Okay guys, that is it for my top 4 anime from spring 2015. Let me know in the comments down below what your guys' favorite series from this past season have been. If you'd like to find me on any other social media site, I'm HappiLeeErin all across the everything. All of the links are in the description down below, so go and check me out there. I hope you're having a fantastic anime-filled day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye! The booties! Fate Stay Night unblimited, either because of time restraints or restraints. That's not the word. Time restraints. That's the word. It makes sense to me, and that's why I'm including it here and stuff like that. So those are my feelings, and yeah. But I personally loved the snappiness.